we have a brand new segment
called
Anime Out of Context. And what we're about to do...
And we don't have a theme song for it yet.
Not yet. Not yet. So
I had nothing come to me today.
What I've done is I have curated some specific dialogue from anime. This is our second time doing this.
Shake it off.
The first one was from Sword Art Online. The second one is going to also be from Sword Art Online.
Oh, fantastic. It's my favorite.
What I've done is I've typed up the script here. Justin has not read this. Justin has not seen this episode.
Should I click on the link?
You can click on the link now.
I can click on it now. Okay.
Yes. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a cold read of this dialogue.
Episode 4 equals goo.
I'm glad you love the discussion on health working out, because Seven is also a dude that for the longest time, as long as I've known Seven, he would always be like, all right, man, we play games together. He's like, all right, I got to go work out. I'm like, what are you doing going to work out? He would prioritize it.
Yeah.
He would make it, makes it a big point to do that. So I'm proud of you, Seven. I'm proud of you. I'm owning your success. All right.
Doug, this script is 6 pages long.
Oh, I know. I'm aware of this. Now, here's the thing.
I'm not Kirito again?
No, you're not Kirito.
Come on, man.
Because here's the thing. Whenever we do this...
I spent the next week after that podcast diving into who the character is and why.
You have no idea who they are.
I know motivation. What?
You know nothing about them.
I don't.
Now, here's the thing. Whenever I put these together, just know that whatever character I assign to you is going to be the expert of the scene. And that's the joy for me. Because last time, if you remember, you were like, I'm in a guild. And that was probably one of the best moments I've ever heard, was when you said that. So, I'm going to give you a little bit of direction. Okay. This is going to be completely out of context. And I'm hoping when we're done, I will give you the context. And that will hopefully make this even funnier. Because I have thoughts about this particular episode. So, this comes from Sword Art Online. It's from Season 2, Episode 4, which is titled GGO. So Justin is going to be playing Sinon, who is, by the way, a female. So I will be playing Kirito. Here is just a little bit of direction for you. You are an expert. Sinon is an expert. Okay? So that's what I want you to take to this reading. All right? You are an expert. Not cocky. You're seasoned. You're a seasoned character, all right?
Okay.
So it's like so imagine if someone were to come up to you and ask you just questions about podcasting in general. Like someone just comes up like, Justin, you won't be cocky about it, but you have knowledge. You've done it. Okay. We've done this for 6 years. You have thoughts, you have ideas and things like that. That's kind of like the approach to this, all right?
All right.
I'll be playing what's that? Go ahead.
Please go ahead.
I'll be playing Kirito, who is a man, but his avatar is a woman.
Okay.
As we often see in video games. So
I'm just wrapping my head. I had to remember that this is a video. Okay, got it. Okay.
Yes, this is a video game.
All right.
That they are virtually jacked into. All right.
Now the stage direction at the top says Kirito explores a foggy and greasy urban environment.
Oh yeah, I'll read the stage direction. Don't worry.
So this is happening on the street.
Yes.
They're outside. Okay.
They're in VR world.
Got it. Okay.
But it's a different world than where we saw them last time.
Sure. I just want to know because I think I have something to help with the theater of the mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right, there we go. We're in the suit.
Sorry, we don't want the night ambience. We just want the street ambience. Okay.
All right, here we go. Kirito explores a foggy and greasy urban environment. He is utterly lost. He spies a young woman with blue hair walking on an empty street and runs to her. Excuse me, I'm lost. Internally, Kirito says, crap, she thinks I'm trying to hit on her.
What, is this your first time playing the game?
Internally, damn, she totally thinks I'm a girl.
Where do you want to go?
Well, yes, it's my first time playing. I'm looking for somewhere to get a cheap weapon in a place called the Governor General's office.
Sure, I'll take you there.
Internally, I feel bad for this, but I'm going to let her think I'm a girl for a little while.
By the way, what are you doing at the Governor General's office?
I want to enter an event called Bullet of Bullets.
Bob? You just started today, right?
B.O.B.
Bob? You just started today, right?
Yes.
Well, your stats might not be good enough.
Well, this is a converted account, so I'm bringing my abilities from another game.
Oh, I see. Well, can I ask, what brings you to a game like this? That's dirty and stinks of oil.
I've always played fantasy games. I wanted to play something more cyberpunk, and I was kind of interested in gunfights.
Ah, so you're starting with Bob. You've got guts. Then I'll take you to a big market with lots of stuff.
Sinon leads Kirito through the streets to a massive market. A cornucopia of weapons are displayed on the countless walls. This place is kind of a... Can we kill the sound ambience?
It's too much? Oh, yeah, okay.
Well, we're in the store now, so it's different.
Oh, that's right. Is it a big store?
It's just, I think I'm worried that the audio is going to overpower our dialogue.
Okay.
I love where you're going with it, though. This place is kind of amazing.
Well, GGO has two major weapon types: energy weapons and physical weapons. Energy weapons are light and accurate, but players can equip a defensive field that halves their damage. If you're doing a PvP fight like Bob, you want a physical gun. Okay, now, then, what type of stats do you have?
Mostly strength and speed after that.
A strength agility type, huh? Then your main weapon should be a heavy assault rifle, or a large caliber machine gun as a main weapon and a gun weapon for a mid-range type.
You read that correctly.
Okay.
The assault rifle has a smaller caliber than a submachine gun, so why is it bigger?
It goes back to the American M16. The design revolved around a small caliber high-speed round. The design revolved around a small caliber high-speed round with high accuracy and penetrative power. But in the end, it comes down to what you want, what you like and want to focus on.
Kirito eyes the totally not lightsabers that are labeled photon swords and buys one. He turns it on and makes classic lightsaber noises as he swings it around. Not sure how they got around the rights for this. That was my own editing in there.
I like that, yeah. That could actually work. Even if you go with that as your main weapon, I think you'll need a submachine gun or a gun in your inventory. You'll need to distract them while you get close. You'll also need ammo and a weapon, so you'll want a gun. If you're going to enter Bob, you'll need a physical gun. And the goal is to distract them. You'll want accuracy over power. It'll take almost everything you have, but I'd recommend this. FN 5.7.
5.7?
The caliber. It uses 5.7 millimeter bullets. They're smaller than your average 9 millimeter parabellums. Yeah, yep. I did it right. Their shape is similar to rifle rounds, so they have greater power and accuracy and penetrative power.
Kirito stares off into Sinon's face, dumbfounded.
Are you listening?
Yes, then I'll take this. Is there anything else I should pick up?
Let's see. A holster, spare ammo, and armor. A defense field as well, and...
What?
You've never fired a gun, have you?
No, I suppose not.
Want to try it? You can try any gun you buy at the store. Do you know how to fire it?
I think so. It's surprisingly light.
It's made of reinforced plastic. The recoil isn't bad either, but it's best to start firing with both hands. Keep your left eye open, too.
Kirito looks down the barrel of the gun. A circle continuously cycles from larger to smaller in his point of view.
You should see a circle display. The one that's getting bigger and smaller, it's an offensive assist system. The bullet circle. Bullets hit randomly somewhere in that circle.
What's the best way to raise accuracy?
The easiest way is to get closer.
What else?
Stay calm. If your pulse increases, the circle expands.
Kirito tries to fire at a target and misses. Huh, it didn't hit.
It isn't that easy to hit.
You really helped me out. Thank you. And scene.
Hold on. Hold on. Okay, so first and foremost, like Slotty said, yes, she should have showed him the blessed bow of the elves, which is smaller and lighter than most bows and uses magical elven twine for tremendous accuracy.
You still remembered that off the dome. Impressive.
Oh, yeah. That is exactly what it sounded like she was describing. Second, she made such a fucking stink about, well, this is very accurate. You're going to need something that's accurate. You should get a gun. You need a gun. Guns are accurate. Gun. And then she's like, it's not that accurate.
So, what do you think is going on in the story? Seven says they're very proud of you, Justin.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I think it's pretty clear that...
Drink from the Batman cup.
Kirito has gone to Florida and is at a gun show. Yes, and I believe that Sinon is
Sinon.
Something of an Alex Jones meets Marjorie Taylor Greene type person.
Nice.
And is just really hawking the gun table.
Very nice. Very nice.
I don't like the scene at all.
So this is essentially an entire episode. I cut some stuff out that was a little just, it didn't seem to, it would take more time. But this is ultimately
the whole episode shopping.
Ding ding, motherfucker. It's a shopping episode. All right.
All right.
Now, do you remember what episode number I said this was in this season?
Well, at the top it says episode 4.
Exactly. Yeah. Do you think this is, what do you think has happened prior to this episode? Because this almost feels like an episode 1 kind of thing, right?
I would say this is very early. Based on the fact that this is episode 4, I would say this is easily a 24 episode season. Old school television arc, 24 episode season, and episode 4, we are it's early and we're ramping up. We're gearing up for a fight that is to come at the season finale. And so, yeah, we're kind of maybe we've had one bit of tragedy that happened already, and the person's Kirito's like, I really should get a weapon. I need to gear up because I was woefully underprepared for this first thing that happened in the first 3 episodes. And then Kirito goes here, probably meets this person who's going to guide them through the rest of the 20 episodes.
That's actually a pretty good, examination of it. What I find, so I'm gonna give you the context to this now.
Tell me this is a 5 episode arc or 4, and this is the season finale.
No, I mean the thing is the pacing in the show is pretty wild. What's happened before this is you've learned that there have been 2 murders, real life murders of people who have been playing this game. They've been playing this game and they've been assassinated. They've been shot in the game and then they've died immediately after in real life.
Okay.
And Kirito has been brought in to investigate this.
Okay.
So we've had 3 episodes basically saying there's some real shit going down in this game, right? We're ramping up. There's this ominous figure who calls himself Death Gun. We got to figure out who they are. And then you spend, that's right.
Wow.
And then you spend an entire episode shopping. Getting into the specifics of how the mechanics of this fake game world works.
It doesn't surprise me based on how unnecessary my HP is 600. You guys have a level 4 will, and your will isn't more than my HP. Aha. Based off of stats, does not surprise me that there are lines in here. GGO has 2 major weapon types, energy weapons and physical weapons. Energy weapons are light and accurate, but players can equip a defensive field and have their it does not surprise me at all that we went through some of this.
It's so weird to me because it
sorry, there's no typos in this, right? This
Correct.
Is word for word. Okay.
Yes.
That could actually work. Even if you go with that as your main weapon, I think you'll need a submachine gun or a gun in your inventory. You'll need to distract them while you get close. You'll also need ammo and a weapon. So you'll want a gun. If you're going to enter, Bob, you'll need a physical gun. And the goal is to distract them. You'll want accuracy over power. How many?
Yeah.
What the fuck is the show, Doug?
Right. Yeah. It's wild, right? It's wild because a part of me appreciates it as they're trying to lay the groundwork for the universe in which these characters are existing, but then they will openly break the rules of that universe at the same time.
But it's season 2. Should these rules not have been?
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Season 1 was all in a fantasy environment with swords and shit. Like in, the second season actually had magic and stuff. This is a completely different game world that's all about guns. Like, there's no magic. There's nothing like that. So everything's different in this world.
Is this Equilibrium?
But what I find so funny is just like they over-explain it so much, almost as if like if we keep going and we don't explain the rules of this fake game, then these viewers are not going to understand anything about what's going on. It's like, no, this could have been done real quick. Like this didn't need to be an entire shopping episode. There's a whole bit in there that I cut out where Kirito goes, "Oh, I don't have any money. How can I get money?" And then Sinon goes, "Well, there's this gambling thing you can do." And Kirito goes and wins it and gets a shit ton of money and then goes, "Okay, now I want to spend my money and buy weapons." Like, I cut that out. Like, there was just...
I don't have any money to buy weapons. How do I get money? Well, what you're going to want to do is apply for a work permit.
Yeah.
You're going to go to the labor office, and it's just how, it's how government. This show is the worst.
This show is hot and cold. Like there are times, because I actually didn't realize that there was 2 other seasons, and I actually watched those, and for a while I was really engaged, but then by the end of it, I just felt exhausted. It was like watching a Transformers movie. You're just like, is this done yet? There's so many of the anime tropes of, oh my God, this person's defeated. Are they going to die? And then they'll summon their inner courage and find a ghost of someone who like gives them inspiration. They're like, I'm not done yet. It's time for my ultimate attack. And then they'll go, or someone will come and save them. So there were so many like, oh, I'm beaten up, and then someone shows up to save them, to the point where I was like, one point it happened and I literally didn't know who the character was that just saved someone's life. I was like, who is this? And people are like, is this person? And they're like, it is. And I'm like, who is this? I don't have any recollection of this person. To this day, I still don't know who they were. And I think they died. But again, still going with the same theme of the stakes were high in the first season, because if you died in that world, you died in real life.
Yeah.
Everything after that does not have the same stakes of if you die, you just, even the last season, like you have these bad people infiltrating this world, and they're like taking these admin accounts and being super powerful, and they get killed. And you're like, wow.
You just saying they're taking admin accounts is the least intense thing that I think I've ever heard.
Dude, I could pull more from the show if you want. I could pull a lot more of shit from the show and just have you be like, what? I'm like, exactly.
I don't know, Kirito. Try password 1.
We did it. Well, it was just, these big bad guys would get killed in the game, and for a second you're like, nice, they defeated him. But then you're like, wait, it just logged them out because they didn't die in real life. They can just come right back in. And guess what? They do that. They come right back in. It's just like, what are we doing?
Slotty wants to know, is there a beach episode? He says, tell me there's a beach episode.
That's a common thing, too, where people just go to the beach to hang out and decompress. In
this show?
Oh, not in this show. There's not.
Oh.
They do.
In anime?
In anime, it's kind of a thing where, like, it's like
really?
There's a beach episode where you can just get an opportunity to look at, like, girls in bikinis and shit like that. So it's...
got it. Okay.
Yeah, very jerk-off appropriate.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's bizarre. But... because there's also at the same time, like I'm checking out this new one, Hodoro, where they do not hold your hand at all. It starts off in the middle of the shit, and there's a guy that has a lizard head, and there's guys that are using magic, and he just cuts a guy to just cuts him up, brutally murders him, and he just puts his mouth around the head of another guy, and that guy's transported inside this crocodile's mouth, and there's a guy inside the crocodile's mouth who looks at him and says, you're not the one. And then the crocodile unleashes his mouth and goes, what did the guy inside my mouth say? I'm like,
That's how it starts.
I'm like, that's literally how it starts. And I'm like,
So we need to pull some dialogue from that show.
I've been looking at some of the dialogue and I'm like, what? But the thing is, as you keep going, they slowly start working in stuff. They don't sit there and be like, welcome. Introduction.
Yeah.
Here's the world in which we're playing. And they break it down like this where it's just so obnoxious and it just grinds everything to a halt where I'm like, Kirito's here to investigate murders and we're doing a fucking shopping episode. Right. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like,
the amount of exposition that is in this show is like staggering.
And staggering. It's pretty brutal.
It rivals, like these are presumably professionals who made this show.
Yes.
This is some student film shit.
This is a wildly popular anime, Justin.
Now, popular the same way that The Room is popular? Or popular, legitimately popular?
Legitimately popular.
Let me ask you a follow-up question then. Are most of the fans suffering from traumatic head injuries?
I can't vouch for them, but
okay.
I know people really dig this show. So I'm like, again, there are times where I'm sitting there going like, I'm enjoying this. And then there's other times where I'm like, I'm done. I'm done with this. I'm over it. We're good. And we're out of here. But
kudos to you to powering through.
I was curious. I was like, I want to see how this ends. And then I was like, cool. Let me tell you, Justin, I'm going to spoil this for you. I'm going to spoil this for anyone who hasn't seen the show.
Please.
It ends in space.
I expect nothing less.
I shit you not.
In real space or in
Here's
video game space?
Video game space.
Perfect.
But here's the best part. We spend the majority of those last 2 seasons in either real time, like the real world, but the majority of it's in a fantasy world. All right?
Yeah.
They leave the fantasy world for a while and they go back, and time has continued on in that world. And when they come back, they appear in space above the planet. All right? There's spaceships that are trying to fight this big creature. They fight the creature in space with their swords and defeat it. And like then it's like fade to black.
Tell me, I will immediately watch this show and I will flip the script and I will be a proponent of this show if you tell me that what they are fighting is a space vampire.
It's not exactly a space vampire.
All right, then I still hate it.
It's like, no, I can't say it is. I want to so bad to say it's a space fan. Honestly, if I could come to you and be like, Justin, you'll never guess how this ends. It's an inside joke that the creators and us are in on. It ends with space vampires.
That would be. I would find out of the thin blue. I would find some massive respect for them.
It'd be absolutely hilarious. But
oh my God, that's funny.
Well, thank you, Justin, for bearing with me on that one.
Hey man,
As I was putting it together, I was like, listen, this is a lot. Yeah, and I don't know if it's gonna read as well as I think it's going to. Because again, the goal of this is to put you in a situation where you're saying a bunch of ridiculous shit.
Oh, absolutely.
And you did phenomenal. Like you read it like an expert. So good job.
I like to think of myself as an anime cold read expert. So
there you go.
It's on my resume.
It's on his business cards. So check that out.